open this meeting. ISM Solar.
Okay, before you go on to that, I'll move that we accept the minutes from our July meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're still going with ISM Solar.
I'm with the police station.
Well, we don't have anybody here from ISM Solar. So we'll continue.
Okay, so it's 1819.
Charlie, they were supposed to just file an RDA or something with that, and
For the alternate driveway. yes.
okay, so that's why they didn't come, okay.
I'm gonna make a motion that we continue the hearing.
Well, is there a hearing? Oh, wait a minute, we were supposed to ratify the closure of the other,
Oh, there's no problem with that. We can, whether they're here or not, we can vote to issue an order of conditions.
well, that was the original, that was to accept the boundary lines. And I made the motion last time to accept the boundaries as they were
And we voted
defined,
to accept
but we did not close the hearing.
No, because the access that they want, I don't think it's available to them. The ISM, the company that owns ISM Solar now, has filed for certificate of compliance.
No, but because we accepted their wetland flags, we should close that hearing.
Can do that.
And then this would be a whole new filing that they have to put that roadway in.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we close the hearing and issue an ORAD.
Okay, well, I think okay, I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay. And that was actually something that we missed at the last meeting. I failed to, I voted, or made the motion to accept the line, but without closing the
We did
hearing.
approve.
In the catch basin. Why would you go out there and if he can't do it?
Okay, and so as far as this is concerned, they're not up here again until they file with us for that roadway.
Then yeah.
Oh, they haven't called to close, they haven't called to quit their, so it's still active.
No, we just closed it.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm talking about the next one down.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
A notice of intent requested by the Reed brothers.
Outback hasn't called, I don't know what the status of the project is. We
Okay.
continued the hearing last month to allow them to check the planning regulations and see if they installed sprinkler system in the house, if they would have to have a 20-foot driveway.
Okay, I talked to Heidi, and Heidi said that state law requires a 20-foot driveway. They have no way to wiggle out of that, to do a 12-foot with sprinkler system. And even then, if that were to happen, all it would do is delay the burning of a house if it were to catch. And so they would have to apply for a 20-foot driveway, and my calculations on that would mean that they're going to fill somewhere in the neighborhood of 12,000 square feet if they were to request that of us.
Well,
Do I need
if that's the route they've chosen, we don't know.
No, we'll have to continue with them.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we continue the hearing until September the 13th.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
a copy of this so that they can help out afterwards? Is that-
Tony Rowder
No.
and Tony Rowder. That's me. 2835 County Street, Dayton, Massachusetts.
something came up and Bob Irby won't be here tonight, but I'll fill in and listen and take it back to him.
You get one of these?
Um,
Oh, here, read mine.
okay,
It's short.
Because of all that help.
That's different. That's not this. We're working with lot 3 right at the moment. Notice of intent.
okay.
That's
Okay,
lot 4.
That's lot.
Okay, let's work with lot 3.
Hi, I'm Marty Nover with Nova Armstrong. I actually just came from Lot 3. The commission asked me to go out and take a look at the wetland boundary on that lot specifically. And I actually ran into the applicant when I was out there. What I found was the site's been disturbed. I think you know that. The lot itself has been stripped of its loam on the upgradient side of the wetland boundary, and there's actually a boulder wall across the back of it now. It doesn't show on the plan, which makes it difficult to really take a look at what's going on the property. But I do question the wetland boundary in different areas for different reasons. From approximately, well, actually, A24, if you want to, A24 back this way, I found hydric soils and a lot of wet veg up gradient of the boundary. Enough to, in my opinion,
There we go.
require the applicant to adjust the boundary.
That's a plan.
Not a lot, 10 feet, pretty much 10 feet along the line. The one point that may cause some trouble with the septic system location, here is the 100-foot setback here from the boundary, which touches the leach field about right here. This flag here, and then beyond it on this lot. Because I documented wetland soils within 12 inches and evidence of hydrology and a lot of wetland vegetation upgraded of that flag, the line will need to be adjusted up here, which may impact the septic system here. And additionally, on this lot over here, I couldn't find these flags when I was out here. But, based on the existing barn location and, the existing stone wall, this is all wet meadow. I know that it was explained to me that this used to be farmed. But right now, it's all wetland vegetation. It's a wet meadow. I mean, it's dominated by strong indicators of wetland.
That's a different project.
Right,
We issued an enforcement order for that lot.
Very much a learning.
okay. Well,
Marty, do you know how far back you'd have to go with this line? 'Cause
Well,
he can move this system this way.
well, that's one thing, that's another thing. This area's been stripped of the topsoil, and right down to and maybe beyond the existing water table. I mean, right at the ground level is hydric soils. So, this topo on this plan probably was, I'm assuming was prior to stripping of the loam. I don't know. No. The test pits they did for the septic system shows that water table is at about 90.6. Now, if you add 12 inches to that, which is at or near the surface, you find a wetland, you're at 91. So, it brings the wetland line somewhere up in here. But it's highly disturbing now. What I'm finding is hydric soils in wetland vegetation growing back there. But I don't know what was there before the disturbance, but what's there now is wet. So, and I don't know how
One thing I can tell you is I think what happened here, there's a large tree and
Yep.
an old truck body in here, and the tree and the truck body got removed. You see that pile of brush that's here?
Yeah, there was the big tree, well, there's actually, this was all
Yeah,
tree
that
in
big
here.
tree is probably 4 feet in diameter. When the stumps are taken out, a lot of soil got disturbed and brought to the surface, you know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why I can see, because this whole thing was farmed and was all grass and they used to hay.
Well, what I'm seeing is,
Yeah, what you're seeing.
there was more disturbance than just that. I mean, there was trees here that were cut. And
In the back.
loam was stripped on that lot. I mean, it's all gone now. So what's happening is, it was stripped down to the groundwater. Now it's hydric soils at ground level, you know, right there. And now you have wetland edge. So, and then over here you have the wet meadow. So I think what needs to be done is, I don't know if it's your opinion that this topo on this plan reflects what's out there today as far as elevation.
I believe so. I could be wrong, but I believe so. You know, I have to.
Yeah, I can't find anywhere on this plan, the date of the survey, so it's hard to tell. I know that the wetland line was delineated, and the test pits were done last fall. So I'm assuming that's when this topo was done. But anyways, there's just a lot more, there's a lot of wetland hydrology out there that,
What do you
I
recommend?
observe. Well, I think that at this point, you know, your wetland biologist should go take a look at it and present to the commission an argument as to why the line is where it is. I mean, I found hydric soils upgraded of that flag and all wetland vegetation. So I don't think it would be hard to argue that. I think maybe in the area the loam's been stripped, there could be an argument based on the existing topo there now. But then you have the wet meadow over here that may have an impact on that setback. But,
But we could always move the septic system.
well, I mean, this septic, this is all gonna be filled. I mean, this is gonna be at 97 and the existing grade's at 90. You know, the test pits, they found water at 2 feet. So groundwater is high out there. And the soil survey for the area, shows, first of all the soils out here are extremely stony. I mean, if you drive by, you can see all the stones that collect. But the soils on this lot is, you know, described as having groundwater table 0 to 6 inches on this lot. And then somewhere, this is the barn right here, and this soil type is, you know, wetland soil. This is a wetland soil, and this soil type here is groundwater about 2 feet, which is about what they found in the test pit. So, you know, I think the line should come up in here somewhere, and then, you know, be adjusted along here. Maybe not in
At
here.
a USGS,
This is actually a soil, you can actually, it's called the web, soil web. You can actually go on this site and actually plug in your site. And what it does is it draws in the soil type for you and it makes a report. And it has all the soils, descriptions based on, you know, the type.
So right now then, where the flags are, would be inaccurate, and that would leave the septic design less than our bylaw, 100 feet away from the wetlands.
That's what I see, based on this plan.
Even as I just ran the ruler here, even as I do that, we're talking about 90 feet. I'm just saying by that alone. And, you know, is that 100% accurate?
This septic system doesn't fall in the 100 foot. It's the overdig of the septic system that falls in line. The overdig is not considered part of the septic system. That's what blocks it.
So this corner here is the corner of the leaching field. So that's your,
That's where the line goes.
that's where it's, yeah, that's where the line, and that line is measured from here.
Yeah.
So any adjustment here is gonna bring it up in, yeah.
You always can move the septic system, instead of making it 5 rows wide, you make it 3 rows wide, you know?
I mean,
You make it longer.
yeah,
All
but,
kinds of configurations we can do here.
so right in here is a key here.
Yeah.
And then, actually what happened over here, because if you, assume groundwater is at 90.6, like, you know, it's stated on this plan, you know, the wetland line could have come up into here, but right now, it's wetland vegetation and wetland soils, because they stripped it down. And so,
About how far is that out?
it's a lot closer, it's into the lot,
Now, when you say a lot closer, 20 feet, 30 feet?
yeah, 20,
Okay.
yeah. So, they, you
Just
know,
corner, right?
Only
Yeah,
this
that-
corner, or is this
well,
over
on,
here too?
it's on the lot.
Yeah,
See.
You get that website, Charlie?
So this is actually, I took this, you can see, this is all the hydric soil, which is, you know, over in here somewhere. Right at the surface of the ground.
Close to the wall, right? Close to the wall?
10 feet,
Okay.
yeah. But it's just enough that I can't ignore it, and,
It was a stair too, you know what I mean? Like I said, we dug a big tree out of there,
yeah.
we moved that truck body and all that soil that disturbed it was where the roots were and stuff, you know? I couldn't
Well, the tree's still there, and the truck body's still there,
Yeah.
but it's over here now, the truck
Yeah.
body and the tree is
We
here. But,
went by the old wetland, I mean, the old flagging, you know?
oh yeah,
That's what
I don't know what happened to these flags, these are gone, so I couldn't confirm that, it was, so.
So can we continue the hearing and can we continue this hearing and have Bob come back with another set of plans here and
yeah.
Certainly.
With new wetland markings,
whatever he says, you know, whatever he says. We gotta do it.
and if it fits in,
Yeah, if it fits in, it fits in, you know?
But I think, again, where the loam was stripped, someone needs to present to the commission an argument why that's not a wetland, because right now it's wetland vegetation and, hydric soils.
Yeah.
So, I would suggest doing, some elevation topo out there to see how much the ground was brought down.
Brought down, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, that would help.
Sure. Yeah, I'll let Bob do that.
You know, just a couple spot
Yeah.
shots in there.
It might, you know, it might be done before.
It might bring it up.
You know? It might have been
I don't
done
know,
before.
I,
It might have been done before too.
yeah, I mean, that vegetation that's in there now is very young, it's
Yeah.
just grasses, you know, that's what comes up first. Grasses and things, so it's probably been less than a year. So, that's what I
So
see.
Why don't I do
If
this?
the soil goes back, it would not be a wetland.
Well, I mean, depending on how much it, at that point, I don't know, because I didn't see it, so it's hard to tell. It's almost, at that point, the commission has to decide, you know, what they wanna do, with that, with a recent disturbance like that. I mean, there is upland on the other side of the stone wall, so there's a point at the stone wall here where this wet meadow comes in. And so this really is the most important part of the project, is this corner right here, coming in, so.
What up? Why don't I take this up with Bob? My suggestion to him would be, let me bring in another wetland scientist and have him reflag it.
Okay. I mean, I'm willing to continue the hearing.
And have Bob make up a new plan, see where we are.
You wanna continue it to next
Tomorrow.
month, or you want more?
Tomorrow. No, next one's fine. 13th, is that what it is?
Next meeting is September
13.
the 13th.
We'll find out about the elevations
Yeah, that'll be important.
before or after, you know, when it was stripped. We'll get it reflagged by somebody else, you know, independent.
Well, it was what, Chris Capone, I mean, he may,
You may wanna come
I
back
mean,
up.
he may present it, he may have an argument,
He's
so.
done a lot of work.
Yep, yep.
So, I'll take it up with him, and take it up with the Brandon.
But again, you're gonna look over here in this wet now,
Yeah.
because there's a setback over here too, so.
Okay, we'll take it. That's, so is that agreeable that I just said?
Oh, well, we get the enforcement order on the list tonight.
Yeah, I'm staying for that.
Okay,
Hey, you wanna do that now too?
that's next.
Yeah, that's next meeting. You wanna continue it, so I'll make a motion that we continue.
No, that-
No,
That's number 3.
Hey,
No, no,
well, I'm talking about lot 3 right now.
We're working with lot number 3.
yeah, that's continued.
That's,
That's the one I wanna make a motion for.
Okay,
We
make a
haven't
motion.
made a motion. Continue the hearing till 9:13 on lot 3.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Actually, it's parcel 3, lot 14.
no,
No?
the other way around.
Other way around, parcel
Parcel.
14, lot 3?
Lot 3.
Good.
Okay. Now the enforcement order, Tony.
On the lot 4.
Lot 4. Lot 14, map 4. 19 Main Street. I know.
Lot 4. Right in your hand, you have a plan. Take a good look at it.
Yeah, I've had this plan.
That wet meadow goes right up to the back of the barn. That can only mean one thing. All the stone and stuff that you put in there has to come out.
We're taking it out. I called you and told you. If you see any disturbance in there, we're taking it out as we speak.
Okay, how are they taking it out? They're not going on the inside and scraping it up, they're taking it, scooping it out
Yeah.
from the uphill side?
Yeah.
Okay,
There is some disturbance, I'm not gonna tell you, there is some. Some of the way getting it out. But I went to, Farm Bureau, Mass Farm Bureau, which I'll never go. They came out and looked at it, and they said it was a wet meadow, it was just like, shoot. And, they told me that you can farm a wet meadow. And the only reason why that became a wet meadow is because of the street drain. There's a street drain that fed that lot for years. I went to Tommy, and me and Tommy been, you know, highway superintendent, and we discussed it and everything, and I think we're gonna put in, at my cost, a catch basin. To catch the water off of William Street and Main Street, and we're gonna run it to a manhole that's on Main Street, to keep the water from coming into that property.
Well, maybe that'll work, but right now,
Wait a minute now.
it's a wetland.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying it isn't. So then I went to, Middleborough, Lakeville, I'm sorry, and spoke to the DEP over there, sat down with them, and, they told me that if the commission requires me to file a notice of intent, NOI, but I should, because it hasn't been filed for 5 years. Anything that's been idle, they're telling me, for 5 years, normally doesn't require it, but if the commission requests it, I should do it. So I spoke to Bob already, and we're gonna file an NOI on our property.
okay, wait a minute, okay, I'm, The NOI, it's not to fill the property,
No,
it's to farm it,
yes.
and, okay, so, but all that rock that is in there is coming out. And then you'll file from there.
Right.
But right now, so you're gonna try to file a notice of intent to farm that wetland area.
Yep.
Uh,
They both told me that, you know, we could farm wetlands.
I think that the Wetland Act does allow that filing. It doesn't mean that it's gonna get approved. But I mean,
You can always appeal it. You can always appeal it, you know?
that's
They-
pretty wet back there.
The DEP told me, most of the time, in agriculture, there is no problem, if it's been farmed before, and we all know it's been farmed before.
I can't say that I paid close attention to that property, but I know they farmed up the road. I don't know if I ever saw any plants right behind that shed.
I got slips in that bond that reflect back to 1952.
Well, it
People
certainly
lived in
hasn't
that
been done in the
bond.
last 5 years, that's for
People lived in
sure.
that bond, Charlie. People lived in it. There's a cesspool there.
Well, you know, 30 years ago, there were no planning regulations. You
No?
could dig a hole and crap in it, there was no problem.
Yeah, but it's pre-existing, you know?
Wherever you wanted. And if it filled up, you
You
could
got a
build
building
it
that's
over.
pre-existing.
But maybe some of these things that are pre-existing are now outlawed, so,
Oh,
Yeah.
I understand that.
so we can't use that as
No.
a way to get around.
But I can rebuild that bond to its existing, to the way it was before I took part of it down.
When I,
The agricultural exemption applies to commercial farmers,
Yeah,
people who sell stuff.
yeah,
What would you sell there?
whatever I decide I'm gonna plant there. I could plant hay and sell it. That's a commercial, you know, product. I could raise corn, I could raise beans, I could raise anything that,
I
you
know, I
know.
did read that you can file if you want to convert something to farmland, but that's pretty wet.
I think it'll be a lot drier once that pipe from the street coming into the property is alleviated.
Maybe?
Well, I've seen water run quite a bit out of that pipe coming in.
And you're gonna file after you move the drain?
No, file it before. I'm gonna file before. I've already spoken to Bob, we're working, well, he's working on it. And, we plan on coming in with an NOI for that parcel. But the stones are coming out.
Yeah, that's the first
You know,
thing.
Everybody be aware of, there is gonna be some disturbance.
And that would mean that the buffer zone was altered too.
Say that again?
Buffer zone it was sent probably out over the street. Because the point of that wet meadow comes right up, probably just a little bit beyond, or almost to the end of that building. And every wetland has a buffer zone, except isolated wetlands, I think.
But you're allowed to farm wetlands. You're allowed to farm wetlands. Yeah, you're probably right, but not quite all that way. It's up pretty close.
But the buffer zone would be right out to the street, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's pretty close to it. That's my intent, you know what I mean? That's my intent to do with that piece of property, bring it back the way it was,
Wow.
and, you know, try to farm it.
How big's lot 4, Tony?
2 acres, 2 acres.
okay, the agricultural exemption applies only to commercial agriculture and to areas that have been in production sometime during the past 5 years.
That's with the exemption. He's talking about something else right at the moment.
I'm not looking for an exception. Yeah, a little over 2 acres. Oh, I should have. I'm sorry.
Stay looking.
I
Okay,
did run across the limited operation that he's talking about when I copied these extra that was in there, so I can't remember exactly what it said.
When I was at Lakeville, they gave me a whole book, you know, about farming in the wetlands. Pretty interesting to read, you know. There's quite a bit you can do, and, you know, as far as ditches and
Raise cattle,
raise cattle, you know.
hay.
You can graze them right in the wetlands, you can, there's a lot you can do. They kinda promote it, I gotta be truthful with you. They kinda promoted it to me. I spoke to Gary McCutch, I don't know if you guys know him, but
Okay, gentlemen, your pleasure on number 4?
I move that we continue it. We have an enforcement order and those rocks are coming out.
Yeah,
We
in the
will-
process.
They're in the process, and then we shall just continue till that is done, and then we will wait for a filing.
Well, when he gets finished pulling it out, then we can do an inspection and lift the enforcement order.
Okay, but as of now, though, we will continue.
I don't know if you have to continue an enforcement order, it's in force. So, we just have to make a date certain. We can check it when he's done.
can I file my NOI in the meantime?
You can file
After
anything.
you get the enforcement order out of the way, then we'll entertain whatever you want to entertain.
After.
But right now, the enforcement order is in place, and when it's lifted, you can do whatever you want. File away.
Put in the interim, I can't file.
You can file a notice of intent. Whether it flies or not, that's, decide that when it happens.
I want to do that, yeah. I got a problem. Like I said, I've been with a couple different agencies, and they both kind of encourage me to do it. To keep it as farmland, you know? I'm in the process of rebuilding the barn. I managed to save about 2/3 of it. I took about a third of it down.
Okay. Then we shall move on then.
Absolutely. Abbreviated notice of intent by Downwind Realty.
Are you here for the next one too?
The,
The quote, oh, this is just a quote that you get.
well, I haven't done anything on it, so,
Okay, all
so
right.
I'll just wait to hear from you.
Okay,
I mean, I can stay or to listen.
if you want
Do
to.
you think it's be wise?
No, I feel,
Wait a couple of minutes. Guys, right there.
Excuse me. Do I get a written report so I can give to my engineer?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I
I just so, you know, I'm not saying something that I don't know
No,
what I'm talking about. You know?
no, I will, yeah.
I just like to
I-
have something
that
I
was
can
really-
hand him and, you know,
That was part of the scope, I just,
yeah, I understand. It's okay.
out there today, I can do, yeah.
Good evening,
Okay.
gentlemen.
So I'll send it to the commission.
I understand you have
Okay.
2 quotes from the botanist.
You received 2 quotes,
Yeah,
one for $2,500 and one for $6,000.
I'll take the
You want the
25.
6,000?
No,
And Mrs. Nova will be your consultant,
No, our consultant.
our consultant, yeah. Your adversary.
no.
So
Okay.
We'll set up a 53G account. You'll need to
Fund it,
fund it.
no problem,
It'll be $2,500 and we'll go from there.
no problem.
And in the meantime, we'll continue this hearing till September the 13th.
September 13th,
Yep, that's our next meeting night.
okay, and, so, aside from, who should the check be payable to, the town
Town of Dayton,
of Dayton? And, do I drop it with the?
Treasurer's office.
Treasurer's office, Okay, I'll do that, Friday, Monday, next Monday,
Okay.
because tomorrow I'm tied up all day and Friday
That's
you're
all right.
closed.
It'll give us a chance to request the 53G.
Yeah, okay. And then after that, you'll
When
schedule,
it's funded, she can book whenever she's available.
but do I need to prompt anything, or do you go on your, do I need to organize anything, like appointments with
No?
her? Okay,
We have the maps of the site,
Okay.
and you'll have, you don't have any maps yet, we'll get them to.
I do,
Oh, you do?
I do, I used it for
Oh, that's
the-
right,
for
because
the
you had to
quote.
give a
Yeah.
price on it.
Yeah,
I
get
do.
her and Brandon Banner.
Yeah.
okay, and then if you have any questions, you can talk to, our
Brad.
Martin. Yeah, Brad,
Brad.
I'm sorry.
You okay?
Yeah.
Will do, yep.
All right, thank you very much. So I'll drop off a check on Monday then.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, good.
okay, see, that was a 2-minute deal that,
No, it's good. Okay, okay. We'll get it done the
Thank you.
13th, well before that probably.
So September 13th is the next.
yes.
All right.
You got a bid from VHB.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marty.
Bye.
Be careful,
Thank
Mike.
you.
Yep, you're
Have a
welcome.
good evening.
Thank you.
See, we just did this a month or so ago.
Well, I remember. Hopefully it's,
Are these the final revised plans?
they are.
I thought it would be inhabited already.
We thought the same thing. So I'm Dan Ketches with VHB, for the Dayton Police Station. As you said, we're here in June. After that meeting, there were some changes that came out of the ZBA approval process, some minor changes. So we're here requesting the latest and greatest plans be incorporated into an amended order of conditions. This is what you saw last time. This is the only change that has been made since then. They requested 2 additional parking spaces and not encroaching on this parking setback. So in order to accommodate that, we took these 2 parking spaces, and put 2 more here, and flipped the dumpster here. Looking at it here, the red is what you saw in June, the blue is the new. So dumpster here, 4 parking spaces here, and the, that's the erosion control with no work line. So it has been bumped out slightly, just a result of the grading for these, but it's still less impactful than what was originally approved.
The ZBA just asked for more parking spaces?
Yes,
How many more?
2,
And the planning board has approved it.
and it's been approved by the planning board and the ZBA.
Dan, I've seen 2 or 3 different plans, and I never saw a plan with a pond on it. Isn't there a pond back there?
Yeah, this line right here is the pond.
Okay.
When they surveyed it, that was the water elevation. And these are the wetland plants.
They're watering it now?
Oh, yeah.
Is there?
I believe so, I believe that.
Actually, they
It's all
moved the
the time.
building
It's
further
all the
away from the wetland, from the pond,
Yeah,
with the first set of
correct, yeah.
changes.
Yep, the plans from June were less impactful. We sort of slid the building, the whole driveway a little bit towards Somerset Ave.
Well, actually, none of the amendments that you're talking about, none of the changes have affected that wetland area. They're all cosmetic changes to the plan.
Correct. It's just, it's work within the buffer zone, but it's not.
I mean, what can we change in the order of conditions that would make any difference? We never dealt with parking, we never dealt with a building, we just dealt with a footprint.
It would just be referencing this plan set.
The buffer line, the station fence is exactly where it was before.
Yeah, it's come out a little bit just in
5 feet
this
maybe.
Well,
area.
it's a little further back, but
Yep.
there's no change as far as the buffer to the buffers are still the same.
Correct.
So, I mean, what can we add to the order of conditions that'll change it?
It would
All
just
we
be.
can add is that we accepted the revised plan.
Mhm. Yep,
Okay, I can do that.
yeah, it should just be referencing these plans from July.
That'll make Mosca, Mr. Mosca very happy.
I hope so.
So the change to the order of conditions will be adding the revised plan to the original plan, this page.
Correct. Yeah.
Good. Well,
Okay. I move that we accept the revised plan dated June, no, July,
July 25th, or those plans.
Oh, okay.
July 25th, 2007.
no, July, what was it?
25th?
Yeah, that's the.
Yeah, okay, all right. 2017. July 26th, he said,
25th.
25th.
Yep.
got it.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
We got off easy, Dan.
Well, actually, it doesn't affect what we're doing at all. So we're just accepting a revised plan, which. Okay,
To issue an amended order of conditions would mean that we would have to change one of the conditions. All of the conditions are the same.
Right.
But we will add the revised plan to the, actually you submitted the revised plan June, whatever,
Yeah, and these are, this is,
2017.
yeah, these are
for the
just,
same
it's
or
a-
different.
they're slightly different, it's that parking change was what changed.
yeah, it was 5-foot difference in the, only where they're gonna put the siltation barriers, it looks like.
Yeah, it's just some additional grading to accommodate that parking.
Okay, you're done.
All right, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Go on to the wife and kids now.
Okay. You have a certificate of compliance?
Somewhere. I shuffle more damn papers around. This is Pavo, Joseph and Maria Pavo.
Okay, make the motion, Charlie?
I'll make a motion that we issue a certificate of compliance for Joseph and Maria Pavo, 1892 County Street.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
What have I got for number 2 there?
That was the 53G account for
Okay,
Tony.
we already took care of that.
That's taken care of.
Um,
Okay, Charlie, here's this, Charlie, so that's gonna require your signature on it. And invoice from Mighty No,
Yeah, she said this bill was never paid. This is from 11/16/2016. It's for the ANRAD on Milk Street.
okay.
Both pages, William.
Hmm? Well, it doesn't hurt, put as many on there as you can.
There's only one page here that for a signature,
What's that?
you said both pages.
Yeah, you gotta sign the front too, Bill.
Okay, okay, here you go. Oh, that, just slide that under a drawer?
Yep,
Okay. I'm gonna add a number 4 in here. I was on the river yesterday, and, we have an enforcement order on Duat, I'm gonna say 720.
What's the address for Duat, do you remember it?
I'm gonna say 721, I don't know why that sticks in my mind, Somerset Avenue. If you go on the town site and it'll give you the number, I think it's 721 Somerset Avenue. And the enforcement order was for them to get a botanist to rehab the property, to let the vegetation grow back. Well, I was by there within 20 feet on the property of the river, paddling, and that thing is, the entire area is mowed this high. There isn't one stitch of natural vegetation coming up.
yeah.
So what we have is,
The consultant's report said that the vegetation would rehab itself because it was just mowed, it wasn't removed, the roots weren't removed. But if he continues to mow it, then enforcement is not worth a piddle hole in the snowbank.
if we asked for the consultant to give us a report on the regrowth of the natural vegetation, a status report of what is going on, for our September 13th meeting.
It looked to you like he was still mowing.
Oh yeah, there's benches out there, there's chairs out there. It might be,
I
don't know how it's,
The bench or the chair don't make any difference.
no, but
But if he's still mowing,
it's certainly not by that heavy equipment that was out there. It's all, the whole thing is green. The entire area is green, and it's about that high, the entire area. So there's no, I would expect to see brush beginning to grow back, even a foot, 2 feet high some places, and none of that is happening.
No, I thought it would be completely flat. Okay, so you want to have a consultant report on the progress, have a progress report on the growth in the altered wetland. Will do.
What is this here? That's yours?
Yep.
Okay.
Got all kinds of papers mixed up here.
Okay.
No Jack. All right.
no Jim's probably planting.
I hope he's not planting in the wetlands.
What, they shut it off?
No, it's not on.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we all set? I'll make a motion that we close the meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, oh, I won't. Hey, I was down the river when I was